Romans 12, 9-13. Love must be sincere. Hate what is evil, cling to what is good. Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. Never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervor, serving the Lord. Be joyful in hope, patient in affliction, faithful in prayer. Share with the Lord's people who are in need. Practice hospitality. I think this is the way most people see it. However, if you look underneath in the Greek, that's not really the way it's structured. The main clause is love must be sincere. All the rest of those are participles. So what they're doing is they're elaborating what Paul means by love must be sincere. Remember the green thing, where words can have different meanings? We say Susie was green. Well, if she just started a new job, that means she's inexperienced. If she's on a fishing boat, that means she's seasick, she's green. If we're talking about a boyfriend, when we say she's green, that means she's jealous. In the same way, the Greek word translated as sincere here can have three possible meanings. It can mean genuine, it can mean sincere, or it can mean without hypocrisy. If you look at all the way the different translations translate Romans 12:9, you'll see that each one of those is used in various translations. I think the English Standard Version has it right. Let love be genuine. Here's why. If you're talking about sincere, that's a verbal thing. It's not about actions. When you say whatever, are you sincere? Do you really mean it? I don't think that's what's going on here. Without hypocrisy is kind of the same thing. Hypocrisy is when you say one thing but do another. And I don't think that's what Paul's talking about here. I think he's talking about what is genuine love. Genuine has what's authentic. What does it really look like? Is it a genuine diamond or is it a fake diamond? So I think Paul's saying, what is genuine love? What does it look like? And what we're going to see here is he's going to give you a description of what genuine love looks like. Okay, here's the first clause. Hate what is evil and cling to what is good. Well, obviously this relates to what he was talking about. This somehow relates to love. So how does it relate to love? Matthew 22:37-40. Jesus replied, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and the greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on these two commands. So every commandment in the Bible is based on these two. What does this have to do with hate what is evil and cling to what is good? If you watch somebody fall and hurt themselves, that's bad. But if somebody pushes them to make them fall so that they hurt themselves, that is evil. Loving your neighbor means being concerned about them, trying to do good for them. You can see in Isaiah 1, I'm not going to print that, but there's a concern to make sure that other people are protected and taken care of. So hating what is evil is when you see somebody mistreat or abuse your neighbor, then you need to hate that. That needs to bother you. So not only is that on a one-to-one kind of a thing, like with Isaiah 1, it's a social thing. If people are mistreated because of their race, that's evil, and that needs to bother you. If somebody's mistreated because of their gender, that's evil, and that needs to bother you. If somebody is taken advantage of because they're poor, that needs to bother you, because that's evil. Romans 12:10. Be devoted to one another in love. Honor one another above yourselves. If you read a lot of translations, you'll notice that they have a hard time translating this whole verse. If you look at the first part of that, be devoted to one another in love, you'll see some translations will say be devoted to one another in brotherly love, or mutual love, or be devoted like a family. The word translated love is one that's normally used of family relationships. And so they're trying to get that idea in there. Even the New International, this has changed the way they word this, and I think they've changed it to something like mutual love. This clause is really confusing to the translators. You can see some of the ways that some of the translations went. Take delight in honoring, outdo one another in honoring, give preference to one another, take the lead in honoring, excel in honoring one another. They're all translated into something very similar. But if you really think about it, it's not quite 100% the same thing. Looking at it, I can see why they have an issue. And so much so, I'm not going to take a position on it. Romans 12:11. Never be lacking in zeal, but keep your spiritual fervor, serving the Lord. We already saw that the whole list is going to relate to Matthew 22, where all the law and the prophets all the commandments are based on two: love God with all your heart and love your neighbor. This one relates to love God with all your heart. And what he's saying is, if you really love God with all your heart, then you will have a spiritual fervor and a zeal. You can't be serving the Lord, such a drag, I don't feel like doing this. If you really love the Lord, you'll be excited to serve Him. Well, obviously we didn't get through the full list, where Paul clarifies what love looks like in action. So we'll continue with the list next time.